Goes with
Excelent manele.
atâta...
Se vede că aveți experiență cu...
We're waiting for members.
It's a bit remote. I know. Yet I came yesterday to try, and it took me also.
Bine ați venit. Ce faci? Și eu. Salutăm.
Okay, yes, it's clear.
So basically, they will have a constitution in the parliament the week after. They will try. They also understood the message from our side of the 25 people. To be honest, but they say as long as the parliament is not constituted and the communities are not formally established, it's difficult for them. They don't have the authority to form percent members. So they're trying to procedurally get their house in order to.
Okay, because it will be a sensitive session with the invitation of Georgian position, so.
And not that many MPs, many should not that many. Yes, very few Ukrainians.
For the first time, we have a very important delegation with 25 members of European Parliament. So for the first time, we have more members of European Parliament.
So people not traveling Azerbaijan.
We don't know Georgia, so it depends on the decision of the group for inviting the opposition. So are waiting now for the official
But what's the position you want with the government right now, or?
I presume.
But initially they wanted to block you.
No, we don't know because they are very vague. So,
Ukraine is okay?
yeah, Ukraine, yeah, and Armenia of course.
So the Moldovans is
Is it the first time that the Azeris are coming, or?
Yeah, because when we organized committee meetings, they were present in Armenia, and it was during the war, so.
it was in February 2022 they were there in Armenia. But I think now they cleared it out.
See that IEF, they received instruction on IEF saying no. But next week we have this delegation meeting, and we invite Azerbaijan ambassador. So we'll see if he will be present.
Yes.
Like we can serve with 5 members.
Welcome to the meeting of our delegation this morning. Also, in the context of new developments in the Republic of Moldova, we propose to organize this meeting. We thought it is important for the members of the European Parliament to be informed by our Moldovan colleagues about the situation in the country, the outcome of the elections, how the electoral campaign went, the interference, how concretely the Russian Federation operated, and what potential challenges and threats might exist, which existed now for Moldova, and they might exist for EU member states in the future as well. And then also to discuss what is ahead of us, how we further strengthen the relations between the European Union and the Republic of Moldova. So, important moment in time. We have with us connected online important speakers. We have Kristina Gerasimov, the Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Moldova, responsible for European integration. We have the new ambassador of the European Union to the Republic of Moldova, Ivona Piorco, and we are delighted, Ambassador, to also get to know you. We're looking forward to seeing you in Chisinau. Our delegation is traveling frequently to the Republic of Moldova. We have connected with us from Brussels Daniela Morari, the head of the mission of the Republic of the European Union, and if we're not wrong, she's connected with us from the Parliament, so that's very good to see you. We have Michael Galler, who was the head of the European Parliament election observation mission to the Republic of Moldova, watchdog Valeriu Pasha. Just for you to know, colleagues, we have also with us here in the room the new head of the Office of the European Parliament to the Republic of Moldova. So the Bureau of the European Parliament decided to open Moldova, responsible for the whole Eastern Partnership countries. Anca Simion here, the last row, was recruited by the Parliament to lead the office. She was working before in the Office of the European Parliament in Bucharest, so she knows how an external office of the Parliament works, which is helpful in setting it up. Before that, she had a long-standing experience with the Commission. So an important contact point. So as you will set up the office in the Republic of Moldova, whatever you need from us as a delegation, from colleagues, from members, please don't hesitate. And of course, it will be also an essential tool to help us as members know about the situation in the country, and to assist members in traveling to the country, in playing a role in further strengthening the the relations. So these are our speakers for today. We have interpretation available in English, French, German, and Romanian. The proposed agenda is that each of the speakers delivers some introductory remarks. Then we open the floor for statements, questions to the members, and then we have one for statements, questions to the members, and then we have one round of it, and we proceed along these lines. So, as I said, the main topic of discussion is the exchange of views on the outcome of the 28th of September parliamentary elections in the Republic of Moldova. We saw that the governing party won the elections with an absolute majority, 50.2 percentage points. That means 55 members of parliament in a parliament of 101 seats. That is an unprecedented victory with an absolute majority for a party, for a pro-European party in the Republic of Moldova, and in a pro-European manner, for the country to continue on its reform path. And for the Moldovan Parliament to be a predictable and pro-European partner also for us, for the European Parliament. The Parliament is now elected for 4 years, pretty much overlapping with the remaining 4 years of the mandate of the European Parliament. So an opportunity for us to build a longer-term agenda also with colleagues from the Moldovan Parliament. Of course, Deputy Prime Minister, Ambassador, colleagues, what will be important to discuss is also the vast tools of Russian interference used ahead of the election. So illicit financing, vote buying, cyber attacks, information campaign, hate speech, the organized transport of voters, even the riot activities and the false bomb threats. We're interested, Deputy Prime Minister, in hearing from you on what the objectives of the Russian Federation were, what the tools were, what you expect from them in the future, and particularly how you managed to overcome that. Then, of course, we're interested to hear from our Moldovan friends on their assessment on the opening of the clusters when it comes to negotiation talks. And the Parliament will stay ready to support with the expertise that we have also in the specific sectorial committees to support these negotiations. As you know, whenever we had to support the European Parliament with a large majority, decisions were in favor of the Republic of Moldova and in favor of strengthening EU-Moldova cooperation, and they were all supporting the country. We understand how important a pro-European government in Moldova is for the region as a whole, for the situation in Ukraine, and for the stability of the Union as well. Had the Russian Federation had a government that it could have influenced in Moldova, the situation could have become more unstable at the eastern border of the Union. So good situation, but we have to make the most of it. On this note, I propose that we start. Deputy Prime Minister, dear Christina, thank you very much for having connected with us. We're looking forward to hearing from you along these lines, plus any other messages that you would like to transmit to the colleagues and to the Parliament. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, dear Chairman, dear Siegfried, it's one in the room. Thank you so much for the invitation to speak at this meeting. We're very relieved with the outcome of the elections, considering the unprecedented challenges that we experienced and we had to face. And I'm very glad to share our experience with you and also to go through the next portfolio. So I'd like to start by really saying thank you for all of the efforts that the EU institutions, the member states, and for your solidarity with us during the past year as we really prepared hard for this important electoral test for Moldova's democracy and for its future. It was really a decisive vote that could have derailed our EU path, but also the security in the region. We were able to safeguard the integrity of the elections because we had your support in various forms, be it in important resolutions, technical assistance that we have received, visits in Chisinau, observation missions in Moldova, and of course the political statements done also on the platform of the European Parliament. I'd like also to especially thank you, Siegfried, and all the friends of Moldova in the European Parliament for all of the tireless efforts really that helped to make Moldova heard. And the results of the elections, Siegfried, represent really a very clear and renewed mandate from citizens to continue on the European path. This is in fact the fifth consecutive electoral exercise when Moldovans voted loud and clear for Europe. We again chose Europe, and we proved time and again that Moldovans are Europeans. I think the people have reaffirmed their trust in democratic values and their conviction that EU membership for Moldova is the strongest guarantee for our peace, security and prosperity here in the country. These elections have also demonstrated that Moldova's institutions are more resilient than many have thought before. Despite all of the tools that you have already mentioned and have been employed on Moldova, the hybrid pressure, the cyber attacks before and on the day of the elections, interference attempts from Kremlin, our electoral, security and judicial institutions have withstood the test. Russian actors invested millions in this campaign to influence the vote. Their objective was very clear: to derail the European path of Moldova, to destabilize the country, and to have a say on the security of the region via a very strong pro-Russian support here in Chisinau and in Moldova. They have failed, and they have failed with essential support from the EU in our cybersecurity, in institutional consolidation, in election protection. Very professional work carried out by our law enforcement authorities. We have learned a lot from the referendum and from our experience with the presidential elections last autumn. So based on these lessons, our law enforcement authorities have worked much better and were much more prepared to anticipate the risks and the challenges that we had to go through. With incredible support of our civil society, our independent media, who have done their best to explain, to communicate with our people the importance of these elections and what's at stake for us as a country, as a society. And of course, with the strong support of our diaspora, Europe and beyond. Moldova has shown that democracy can prevail even under unprecedented pressure and types of challenges. We have also shown that under increased costs of living throughout the last couple of years, high inflation for about a year and a half in 2022, Russian gas at our availability anymore, and other severe consequences on this invasion of Ukraine, democracy can still prevail. And this is, I think, a very important lesson, a very important message for Europe, but especially also for the countries in the post-Soviet space. The outcome is not just good news for us here in Moldova, but for regional stability and also for Ukraine's security. A pro-European Moldova means that our 1,200-kilometer border with Ukraine, the second longest border after Russia, will remain a line of stability and support and not a vulnerability for Ukraine. In this sense, safeguarding a security guarantee for Ukraine on its western border. Its result also means huge responsibility. This result means a huge responsibility on the next government to prepare Moldova for EU accession, close negotiations within the next 3 years. It's a very ambitious target, but I think Moldova has proven that when it sets ambitious targets, it can deliver. It also requires no hesitation on behalf of the EU institutions and on behalf of the member states to work together tirelessly to prepare both Moldova and the EU for new member states. Here, Siegfried, I would also like once again to thank the European Parliament for its very strong support for Moldova's European path. Unlike previous rounds of enlargement, I think it's very clear that the next wave will be defined by security, and for Moldova, EU membership is part of a broader European security architecture, one that protects democracy, one that prevents externally driven destabilizations. Accession and security for us go hand in hand, and enlargement today, as we see it, is a strategic investment in Europe's security. Our citizens have spoken very clearly. We want to join the European Union and we want to achieve this objective soon. Therefore, Moldova is ready to continue delivering on the reforms that we have started and engaged very seriously in the past years. We have completed, as you know, recently the screening process, really in a record time during 15 months. We're now focused on hopefully soon opening negotiations cluster by cluster as soon as possible. Our next enlargement report on Moldova that will be published by the Commission hopefully will show how much progress has been achieved across all chapters during the last year. For us, rule of law remains our top priority. Vetting of judges and prosecutors needs to be brought to a successful end. Consolidated anti-corruption architecture is key. Strengthen democratic institutions and administrative capacity to deliver are really non-negotiable for us. Tangible benefits for citizens matter as well. We joined SEPA earlier this week and will join Rome like at home by January 2026. These are practical steps that people will feel in their daily lives in the years to come. The growth plan is our roadmap for change. We reform first, then we invest. The financing will transform Moldova by connecting communities, securing our energy supply, modernizing schools, hospitals, kindergartens, and not least modernizing our overall economy. Moldova, unfortunately, continues